into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
This is real music over here, right?
Today was a good day.
It was, for sure.
Yes.
Hump day.
Yes, it's Wednesday, yes, and we're here talking about a brand new show on ABC called Fresh Off the Boat. So yes, today is a good day because it's the first time in 2 decades there's been a sitcom based around an Asian American family.
Yeah.
Which is very, very exciting. So yes, today is a good day. So thank you for tuning in and watching our AfterBuzz for Fresh Off the Boat. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe. YouTube.com/AfterBuzzTV. You can also check us out on iTunes and SoundCloud. And make sure you leave comments. This is our first episode for this show, Fresh Off the Boat. So please leave comments. I want to know what you think and how you feel about it and how you feel about us and just in general. What do you think about life?
And how you relate to being fresh off the boat.
Yes.
Because I know we both do.
Yes. And then you can also communicate with us over Twitter. I'll be watching that as well. So if you guys have any opinions you'd like to tweet to us immediately, you can tweet at me at Marilou Mandel, MARIELOUMANDL. And you can also reach Kanika.
You guys can tweet at me at Kanika Lal, KANIKALAL.
Right on. So 2 episodes tonight. We had the pilot.
I know.
And then we had Home Sweet Homeschool. What are your initial thoughts on Fresh Off the Boat?
I like the show. And the reason so is because I think all of the cast members are very lovable. They're adorable. They're very fun to watch. And I mean, it's a fun show. It's a funny show. I mean, for the first, well, not for the first time, like you mentioned, you know, this has been 20 years. I think 20 years back, it was Margaret Cho's
All-American Girl.
All-American Girl, right? That didn't really pan out so well, but I think this has a long running going, and I don't know. I like the show. I think it's funny. It's a interesting insight into not just an Asian American family, but just the struggles of moving somewhere new or just being new in a city. You know, that it's more than just your, you know, the stereotypical Asian family.
Yes.
So hopefully, I wish it luck, you know, for the future.
Yeah, I definitely feel there's a lot of things that are relatable for everyone.
Yeah.
What I really like is that the family does love each other.
Yes.
Now we're showing a different way of love that maybe a lot of people don't understand. It's not what we've always seen, but some of it is. It's just presented in a different way.
Yeah.
And with sitcoms like this, I always really like that the mom and dad love each other.
Yeah.
Like there's just wholesomeness in that, like oh, this is a family, like this is a real family, and it's not a normal family, but it is a normal family,
right?
Because who knows what a normal family is?
Oh, there's no such thing.
Yeah. So I love it.
Yeah.
I really, really adored it, and I've been reading the book that it's based off of by Eddie Huang, and you guys should check that out also. He is a restaurateur and also a food personality and a chef, and he owns a Bauhaus in New York City,
right?
And wrote this memoir that was really fun. Like he's this really big personality,
right?
He's a fun personality,
right?
He's like a hip hop Asian kid,
yeah. And he narrates the whole. Well, he narrates the whole show, right? You mentioned that. Did you mention that?
No,
I missed that. Yeah, and so I think Eddie, who is played by Hudson Yang, I think he portrays him pretty well. We can talk more about that. I mean, in terms of like, Eddie was mentioning that Hudson reminded him just of himself.
Yeah,
because like when he was auditioning for this role, he just didn't seem to be wanting to be there.
Yeah,
and Eddie's like, that's exactly who I am. So I think, you know, Hudson portraying Eddie is perfect.
Yeah. So then let's talk about the characters that we met in here. Eddie, what's your thoughts on Eddie, our main kid?
I like him, so he's probably one of my favorites actually. And it's interesting how they made him, you know, actually relate more to the African American culture, so to speak, with his you know, chains and, you know, wanting to be
his Nas t-shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
He's a very natural actor, and it just shows like a little 11-year-old kid who just doesn't is having a hard time adjusting.
Yeah.
You know, but I think he's making the most of it as he can. So
Yeah.
he seems to be the one kind of bringing the family together. I see him as like the center and the core of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, what do you think about
Well,
him?
he's definitely like the main character because it's based off of our guy who wrote the book, Eddie. And I love the little actor. I think that Hudson's just adorable and plays it really well.
Yeah.
Like he is my new favorite troublemaker. And you just can tell, like with the little things that they said, like of course they're presenting him like a troublemaker, but
Right.
I don't know, when the mom goes up to him and she's like, now don't cause trouble at school today, and she's like, why are you looking at me, is what Eddie was saying. He's like, why are you're looking straight at me when you say that, and he's
Right.
like, she's like, no, I'm telling all three of you that.
And then she's
no,
like,
actually it's you, you are the troublemaker. It's great, I love him. And then he also had another moment where he's the one kid who's sitting at another table in the lunchroom. He's like, oh, you like B.I.G.? And he's like, I bought that album. He's like, oh, you bought that? I stole it. That's like, oh,
There you go.
funny. So I'm really excited to see this kid go. It's like, you know, this could be America's new favorite troublemaker. Like this is our next Bart Simpson.
Right.
You
No,
know?
I agree.
I think it's great.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He definitely has future. I know.
Yeah,
I know.
I like him. So then what about the brothers, Evan and Emery?
One of them was like already getting so popular in school, right? He was like having a time of his life.
Yes.
I think that they're also just so cute. They're adorable. They follow whatever, Eddie has to say, but they also have their own spice to them.
Yeah.
Personality. And I like how they all have actually different personalities, and they all have their own character, and they're just very cute to watch. I love them.
Yeah, they're really adorable.
They all get along so well.
And I like the dynamic that they're building. From when I was reading the book, Eddie and the middle brother and the middle brother is Evan, are closer and will tease the younger one.
Right.
Yes. No. Oh, Emery's the one that has a girlfriend, and Evan is the one who made friends and then like tries a cheese stick or string cheese from a friend of his and is lactose intolerant. But the mom is so proud.
Yeah.
Like she is so proud that her son's body is rejecting
White people food. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they kept saying about the whole episode.
Yeah. White people food.
I mean, Eddie loves he wants white people food for lunch.
I just like all food.
I know.
Just give me all food.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. So then we've got Louis, the dad. What are your opinions on the dad?
He's the peppy one of the family. He may not be the most realistic one of the family, but he definitely is trying to make them love Orlando. He wants them to love the restaurant, and he's trying. He's really trying, but he's also another lovable one. He's kind of goofy, kind of silly, but good for him for implementing a restaurant. That's, first of all, it's a Western themed. So initially, he was a little worried, like, I don't think anyone's going to really buy into this restaurant because Asian Americans are running it. But I mean, he's doing it, and he's starting something that could hopefully lead to more, restaurants for him and business for him. So, good for him. And I love his relationship with his wife and with his kids.
Yeah.
So.
And in real life, the restaurant that Eddie's dad opened up was Atlantic Bay Seafood.
Right.
Atlantic Bay Seafood.
Right.
And in the book, he was talking about the same thing where he's like, oh, I put white people in the front because I don't want people to see like an Asian man running this and then not want to eat at this place. So I thought it was really fun, the choice that they made.
It's a marketing tool.
Oh, it's great.
He's smart. He
sure.
knows.
He's a
yeah.
businessman.
Yeah.
And I liked it that in the show they made it this, Cattleman's Ranch. Because it's kind of a poking fun at stereotypes.
Right.
Which he's creating a stereotypical thing. I just thought it was really clever.
No, it definitely
really clever
is.
way of
is.
doing that. So I like that guy, and I like our actor Randall Park.
Yeah, who was Kim Jong-un in the interview?
Yes. What do you think of that movie?
Blew up. Oh, it was great.
Yeah,
I loved that movie.
I didn't love the movie, but
just because the fact that I could watch it online.
Yeah,
that's the part I really liked it.
Your only requirement is to be able to watch it online.
The whole thing that blew up was crazy. But anyways, he was also lovable in that. He was like a lovable maniac.
Yes.
So yeah, he's doing great in this show.
I did like the puppy. Yeah.
And the Katy Perry fireworks song.
Yes.
How he loved that.
Oh my god.
I wonder if he knows that in real life. Maybe he does.
Yeah. Oh, we can ask him. Let's tweet at him.
We'll tweet at him. Will.
And then my favorite character of the show is the mom, played by Constance Wu. I adore her. She's amazing. What are your thoughts?
Oh, of course. She's like a tough little cookie, and she doesn't back down. I mean, there's a lot of scenes in this episode and the pilot episode where you're just like, are you kidding? Like, she's like this cute little mini Asian woman, and look at her like running over people and, you know, speaking her mind. And I feel bad because, you know, she kind of was dragged along to Orlando. It's not good for her hair. And
let me tell you, I lived in Orlando for 5 years. That hair struggle is real.
Humidity is real on the East Coast. Us Los Angelinos, we don't get that. But, you know, we're both in these.
That's a South.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Yeah, definitely.
I wore a lot of ponytails.
And yeah, she's like trying to fit in with the rest of the neighborhood woman. It's like she doesn't get what they're talking about, which makes so much sense. I mean, I don't even get what they're talking about, but I like her. She definitely is another favorite of mine.
I thought she was really fun. I liked a lot of their interactions that they created with Eddie and the mom specifically, because the other sons got in there too, and the husband got in there too. But when it was Eddie and the mom, I just thought there was magic in there, you know. And then so like Eddie really wants to have a white person's lunch, right? So what is that, Lunchables, right? So they go to a store that's essentially food for less, but they call it a food for all,
right?
And when she says, you know, I miss my Asian markets, they're so calming, and they do this flashback to this crazy Asian market. If you've ever been to a market like that, you know that's exactly what it is.
It's crazy. I'm actually from DC myself. Yeah. And I've never actually been to that market. Oh. No, I know, but they must have it. I mean, Chinatown is crazy in DC, but I've never been to the market, which is interesting. So when I go back, I definitely want to go.
Yeah. No, in the Philippines, there's, you know, always the markets where you're going to go get your vegetables and your fish. It just like smells like crazy fish. There's people screaming. You have to go early in the morning to make sure you get the goods. And it's fun. Like, it's fun. It was something that I'd always go with my mom. Right. And just like see the magic happen. So now when I go,
nice little memory.
Yeah, it's great.
That's nice.
And that's what it taught me how to haggle. You know, you need to buy a car, you talk to me. I will help you out. You get the lowest deal possible. Right. You know, I take my friend to the fashion district all the time. And, you know, I was helping my friend buy a wedding dress, and she's like, oh, I like this dress. And, you know, I was like, all right, lady, how much is this dress? They're like, oh, it's, you know, it's $500 or whatever. I was like, $99. We got $100 dress. Nice. And it was wonderful.
That's a good skill to learn. Yes. I mean, Asians can bargain like crazy. I'm trying to learn it from my dad. He's great. You just have to be talking about it. Yeah. You know?
And is it Asian specific, or is it the fact that my mom was a hustler and just taught me the skills?
Oh, yeah. And that
she
too.
was great.
Oh, and that too.
Yes.
That's a big part.
And then we had some other really fun side characters, like the restaurant staff was really fun. What did you think of that?
I love the ad. That was so funny. They're trying their best to like represent the restaurant so well.
Yes. It was so great because they love Louis as a boss, because he's doing a great job.
I love them like dancing in the restaurant when they turn the music on. They're like just enjoying it.
And Mitch, I mean, like, it's Paul Scheer.
Yeah, I know.
It's great. I was really happy to see him in there. And then we've got the grandma. So we didn't get to see too much of the grandma. But
well, then in any case, she doesn't talk too much. Not something is the comedic character for her. She just kind of laughs at the random TV shows, and she also likes the music that Eddie listens to, right? I think like in the end.
Yeah, she was helping him out with something.
She was helping him out, yeah.
This is a good supportive grandma.
Yeah, exactly.
I love her.
She's cute. She's always a good actress. We've seen her in a lot of different movies and stuff, so I'm glad to see her in this series.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get to see more like, you know, character development with her. I'm sure we will.
I'm sure we will.
Here and there.
They'll use her well. I feel like they will. Like same with like Simpsons, you know. Right. Grandpa was kind of in there a little bit, but then he like became more of a character. And
they're just like
wonderful.
testing her character out for now and seeing the reaction.
It's wonderful. Wonderful. So we've also got some of the other school children. You know, so when Eddie first goes to the school and he's at lunch, he sits with one kid who just is like, I'm friends with a 40-year-old man. You know, I don't like to talk to other kids, so you can sit here, I guess, you know. And then he goes to this other kid, and it's totally gave me this Mean Girls vibe. Like, that's Regina.
Oh, totally.
That was Regina, who was like, come over here. Oh my God, I love your bracelet. You know, totally.
But then like turns on him after like
immediately.
Yeah. Because she doesn't like the food or.
Yeah. So I saw that dynamic, which did you ever have things like that happen to you in school? Because I never did.
Funny, no, because number one, I went to we always had a cafeteria that gave us food. We never really brought our own lunches, but I feel like if I did bring Indian food, it would cause a huge stench.
Yeah.
But people love Indian food. People love Chinese food too.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like the younger generation who thinks it's so foreign to them and they don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
Like I can admit, like some people are like, oh, it's too spicy, or you know, why do you mix this vegetable with this meat? It's just not something they're common, you know, growing up with. So I could feel for him.
Right. And then I wonder if that's
bit.
a different, because it was 1995.
Exactly. Again, it was in the 90s. Yeah.
And where now I feel like kids are exposed to all sorts of food, especially here in Los Angeles. Like
Right.
all the kids like eat everything.
Definitely.
Because there's so much here that's available. And I feel like now in Orlando, there's probably a lot more available.
Oh, yeah.
So
More diversity. Yeah.
but yeah, I just went to so many elementary schools. I went to 7 elementary schools and always had no trouble making friends and talking to people.
Right.
So whenever I see dynamics like that where people have trouble in cafeterias, like talking to people, I'm like, oh, well, I guess. Like
Yeah.
I was like always the new kid in school. So I
Really?
was like
Yeah.
a professional new kid at school.
That was like your thing. That was like your job when you were younger.
Yeah, it was my
I'm
job.
a new kid.
Yeah. Who are you? I'm the new kid.
Yeah.
Always.
Always.
Always the new kid. So a lot of really fun characters. And then we've got the mom who made friends with the rollerblading ladies in the neighborhood. She obviously doesn't like them,
No.
but she's trying. She's really,
She's
really trying.
She threw on the rollerblades, so she's trying to see if she can relate to them. But
Yeah.
maybe she will in the future episodes. Maybe
Yeah.
they'll become good friends. Do their nails together or something. Who knows?
Do we feel like Jessica Huang is the do her nails kind of lady?
I think she likes to pamper herself here and there.
Yeah. Well, she was worried about her hair. She needed her hair to look
Yeah.
fabulous.
My hair.
Her hair definitely needed to look fabulous. So we've got a lot of different themes that are coming up in the show. Like, was there anything in there that you could really relate to as far as experiences being like from an Asian family and being in America? Like your family's from India.
Yes, they're from India, so I guess I'm considered a first generation Indian American. Themes. Well, what themes did you think of? Maybe I can work off of that.
Well, like a lot of the stuff with the mom, you know,
Okay.
and her fiercely being protective of her brood,
Right.
you know, in her way.
Right.
So when the kids dine and dash, and she's like, "No, this is not going to happen,"
Right.
and then goes after them, you know, I can relate to that, and that's I think any mom who's like a mama bear,
Yeah.
not necessarily the Asian mom,
Right.
just any kind of mom who's trying to protect her family. You know, if she went out and did that, I was like, yes, lady, yes. I
Good-
feel like
good
that's
for
something
you.
I would do.
Right.
Like I personally related to that, where I was like, yeah,
Right.
give me the onion. I'm gonna throw it at his head.
Right. Yeah. I mean, after all, like you're full of values and morals. Don't lose that no matter where you go, because that can definitely be lost. I mean, I'm not saying like it's the American culture, but I don't know. It's not like common in other countries. I don't think. Maybe
To
it
do
is.
what? Not common to do what?
And to like not pay.
Oh yeah, the dine and dash
It's more
thing.
like a generational thing, I think.
Yeah.
Rather than a culture thing, but well, she set them straight. So
Yeah, she's like, you're gonna go back and you're gonna do this, and
Yeah.
that look, that's something that angry mom look. Oh my gosh.
And she was good at that. She gave that. She played it off
All
very
right.
well.
Give them your best angry mom look. Yes.
A little bit of sass in it.
Yes, totally. Like when my mom would give me that look, you're just like, oh my God.
I know. Like, shit, what do I do?
Can I
Go to my
disappear into the
room.
wall?
I know, seriously.
When mama was mad, mama was mad. Yeah. So, and have you ever, you've never dined and dashed, right? Because you're better than that.
Okay, I
right?
have to
you?
admit, I didn't do it intentionally, but one time I was like so in the heat of a conversation with my friend, and then the next thing, like we just like left, and afterwards I was like, oh, did we not pay for the bill? And she was like, oh shoot. So I did it once, but it was not intentional, people.
Kanika.
I know.
No.
I know. I need Constance Wu to come here
And like, look at
and
you
give me
angry.
a slap.
She's going to slap you in the face.
Yeah, and she'll throw an onion at me. But then we'll bond over rollerblading in our hair. So
Yes.
it'll be okay.
Yeah, I have not dined and dashed, but I was a server and I had somebody dine and dash on me.
Ooh.
And I almost ran after him because I saw him, but it was on like Christmas or like right before Christmas. And then
shoot.
part of me was like, man, maybe he's having like something going on. And he had a big duffel bag, so I kind of thought maybe he was going to shoot me or something.
Oh my
like,
God, that's weird.
And I was like, you know what? Maybe because I was so nice, he decided not to shoot up that Cheesecake Factory. That was my story that I made up for to make myself feel better that somebody dined and dashed.
Okay, that's better than anything
ship.
else. Yeah,
I suppose, right?
Yeah.
You'd be like, well, we could have been shot in the face.
Exactly. It's
You know?
okay.
Yeah,
Keep
fine.
the money.
It's all
I'd
right.
rather keep my health. Than my body.
Or keep my life.
Keep my life. Yeah.
I'd rather keep my life. What did you think about the music that they used
For the
whole show? Like all like 90s hip hop.
Oh, I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
It brought me back down memory lane for sure.
I think it sets a really good tone for the show and for what Eddie is.
Yeah.
And what he represents.
True. Very true.
Yeah, and then there was the theme, the father-son theme in the pilot where, Eddie gives this big speech about, his lunch and how he's got a plan.
Right.
He's going to get a seat at the table. He's going to meet Shaq, and then he's going to change the game.
And maybe with Shaq's help.
Hopefully with Shaq's help. And then at the end, Lewis also, the mom, like everybody wants to leave. Right. Most of them aren't having a good time, except for the one boy who's now, Mr. Popular.
Yeah, and he has a girlfriend?
Yeah, his girlfriend. He she brought him a soda pop.
Oh my god.
It was cute. It was really, really adorable.
Him getting all buttered up by the ladies.
Yeah, and then Eddie's like, why aren't girls bringing me soda? He's like, you want it too much. Oh my gosh. I can't. It's so good. But then at the end of that episode, Lewis also says, listen, I've got a plan. And you see Eddie smile in acknowledgement of like, yeah, I taught my dad something. Like I brought him somewhere.
Definitely.
So I like their dynamic a lot.
Right.
And I always like seeing that in television shows. And then we have that reflected again at the end of the second episode that we saw tonight, where they're playing basketball.
Yeah.
Which was great. He just wanted to play, and so like they went and had a good time, and then the mom, lets the other ones come out of tutoring to play,
which was nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely can relate to the fact also, because that kind of brings back from earlier when Eddie was like, oh, when my dad tells me, or when anyone else in the family tells us that we love you, there's a problem.
Yeah.
And then in the end, he was like, we're not a family who needs to shout, we love you. We just show it. And that totally reminded me of me and my family. It's funny because like my mom and dad maybe be like, oh, I love you. But I don't say it back. Not because I don't love them. It's just, I don't know. I show it in a different way, whether it's just like spending extra time or just, visiting them or talking with them or laughing. Who knows? It's done in a different way. And I think that was also a nice type of theme in that episode.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be like an Asian American theme. It was like a theme of what the family is.
Yeah. This family does this, right? And totally, I've seen that in all sorts of different families where like, I just thought it was really funny. It made me laugh out loud when he's like, oh, my family doesn't say I love you. We like show each other we love them, love each other with criticism. I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's another, very true. Like they say it because they love us so much, but they want us to be better.
Yeah.
But they say it like in a really weird,
I had
a mean way, I guess.
I just remember like when I was in high school at some point, I had a family member tell me, oh, you're chubby like Britney Spears. I was like, but like this is when like Britney was like new Britney. And I was like, what does that mean? I don't understand. Like, so am I chubby or am I not? Like, and so then I just quickly understood like that was like a friendly criticism. Like it was a compliment criticism.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So I just took it. I was like, thanks.
Moving on.
Yeah, no, it was great.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so that made me think of that kind of moment, and I don't know, the love, just showing it.
Yeah.
Showing it instead of saying
yeah.
it. The reason she wants her kids to have extra schooling and have extra tutoring is because she loves them. She wants them to succeed in life.
Right.
So as a kid, you're like, man, like I definitely remember as a kid where it was like you just study all the time. You want to go to the mall with your friends? No.
Yeah, like I didn't even watch TV during the week. It was like a Friday thing, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like I loved looking forward to the weekend because all week it was just work.
You watch TGIF?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't watch TGIF. But when I was younger, like I would look forward to the new episode of like Even Stevens or like So Raven. But the Kumon thing or their CLC, I went to Kumon like every week.
Yeah.
It was like a thing because like math was a week. Ironically, I was not good at math being an Indian, but
math is my weakness too.
Yeah. It's funny.
Like if you tell me like estimate how many people are in a room, I'm like, it could be 2, it could be 200. I don't know.
Wait, what does estimate even mean? Yeah, that's how
you'll take a good guess, girl. You take a real good guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the school thing, definitely was something that I could relate to, you know, because she just wants the best. And it's hard when you're a kid to understand that, like, oh, they just mean well. Like, it kind of feels like torture, but no, that's not what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's really great.
It's for our own good, so we get that as we get older.
Yeah.
We're getting that now.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you, Mom and Dad.
Here we are. Look at us doing all right here at AfterBuzz, talking about Fresh Off the Boat.
Yes.
You know, so we've got our tough mom and then the dad. I was refreshed and surprised at that the dad was so positive and loving, because I could feel like if you were put a stereotype in there that the dad might be a little more stern,
Right.
You know,
But in this case, the mother is. Yeah.
which, like, Asian moms are stern.
They are.
They're definitely stern, but for
But we
some
need
reason,
to have one that's not, at least.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be too serious.
Yeah, but they both do everything out of love. Like, the intentions are love, and that's
what counts.
what makes it really great. He comes out, the dad comes out at some point because he also has a hair struggle, because she's like, look at my hair, like, I can't live here, look at my hair. And he's like, don't worry, I fixed it with product. A guy is fixing his hair with product. I think that's really fun, because he comes out with like a hairnet, you know. But he totally supports, like, they support each other. Like, the mom wanted these things for the kids, so, or, you know, Eddie was like, I don't know why I have to go to school on Wednesday. Why can't we just go till Monday? And he's like, yeah, good point. Go to school.
Right.
Because mom already said, like, they're not going against each other.
Right.
You know, they're parenting as a team.
Exactly.
Which I think is really wonderful.
Yeah, that needs to be done for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's real good stuff. So when they brought Eddie into his class for the first time, they mispronounced his name. Does that ever happen to you?
Actually fun. Oh my god! All
Yeah,
the
let's hear it.
time
Tell me some
until
stories.
today. Oh, I mean, nothing specific, just like what they would say. Different variations, like my name's Kanika, right? So maybe it's like Kanika or Kanika or Kanika. I'm like, really? Kanika out of all them? So it's happened a lot, but now I'm just so used to it. I anticipate it.
Yeah.
I like tell them the name before they even yell it out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you're in Starbucks, you're like, oh God, what are they going to say? What about you? Your name's could be
No, people have
misinterpreted.
trouble, like, being the professional new kid at school.
Oh, yeah.
I just knew where my name would come, because it was always somewhere in the middle. It starts with an M.
Right.
And whether they're going first name or last name, it starts with an M, no matter what. And I just could feel it. I'm like, oh, they're not going to get it, because it's Marilou, but it's spelled Marilou.
Right.
And I've gotten Marilou. I've got Murray Lau. I was like, that makes no sense. Mary Lau? That's what Siri says. She's like, hello, Mary Lau. And I was like, no,
Shut up,
Siri.
Siri.
No,
She's
Siri.
got my name by now.
That's not the. Does Siri say your name right?
Kanika.
Kanika? You can fix
I
that.
don't even use Siri anymore because she said my name wrong.
Oh, I forget you,
Forget
Siri.
it, Siri.
Oh, you can make up with her. You just got to teach her.
Maybe. She kind of freaks me out sometimes.
She freaks you out sometimes. Oh my gosh. So fun. So I really like these 2 episodes. I really hope that more come of Fresh Off the Boat. Like, you know, of course, we've got whatever they've shot so far.
Right.
But I really hope that people take to it well.
Well,
How do you feel?
speaking of that, are we getting into news and gossip?
We can definitely go into news and gossip. Yeah? You ready for it?
Yeah. I'm waiting for the music, actually.
TV news.
But what do you have for news? There was actually a lot of news and gossip.
Well, let's hear what you've got.
a lot, even like before the episode started. Okay, let's see. I have like little bullet points. Well, first of all, Eddie Huang was not so happy about the way that the show will be portrayed or how it's been portrayed. I mean, first he wasn't even happy that the writer, Nanchika Khan, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, she's Persian. And he was just like, not so, you know, for that. He was saying, why is a Persian showrunner writer portraying, you know, Asian Americans? Number one. Number two, the huge tweet that ABC tweeted. Do you have it up there with you?
No, I'll try to pull it up. I think we're losing our internet now, but go ahead and explain it.
Well, pretty much they said it was like an animated picture, and it said, we're all a little fresh off the boat. And it showed no eyes or mouths or anything, just faces, just heads. One was a turban, one was a bamboo hat, one was a kulfi.
Your cowboy hat.
And a cowboy hat. And he just got appalled. He was like, whoever tweeted this is like a psycho. I think he said like a mouth firing, like something like that. He was just
not happy about it.
He was not happy about that at all. And so they took off the tweet and they, you know, apologized and all that. But I guess just people have been a little apprehensive because of the name, Fresh Off the Boat. They think it's a little racist or stereotypical, and which I don't know if you agree with that. I've never thought that Fresh Off the Boat, the name, was ever considered that way. I mean, it's a term.
Yeah, it's just a term.
What I mean, I always say it around like, oh, that person's, because it's my own people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, that I didn't take offense to because that's the name of the source material.
Right.
The like person who wrote the original book named it Fresh Off the Boat, and he also had his food show before that was Fresh Off the Boat.
Right.
You know, so like, yeah, okay, if they wanted to continue with that, I don't know. I think I like Fresh Off the Boat better than All American Girl.
Yeah.
Like that felt weird to me.
The
But-
original name was Far East Orlando, which would have probably been even.
I don't like that either.
I don't like that.
I don't
think Fresh
know.
Off the
Well,
Boat
they
was
made a
perfect.
choice. They made a choice, and this is what it is.
It's the perfect choice.
Yeah, it's great. I'm on board with it. I think it's fine. And I had another point to say from something you said at the beginning. Oh, with the book, with him being angry.
Yeah.
At the adaptation.
Right.
Also saying that it was a little bit of a watered down version of the
Right.
book. But what do you expect? This is ABC.
That's what he's upset about. Yeah. I mean, like, producers, they have to say at the end of the day, and they have to appeal to a certain market. They have to, respect the network. Eddie wants it to be more specific, kind of more, not so like a Disney type of portrayal. Like,
Which it is.
It is.
It is.
Because, like you said, it's ABC. And I think he also mentioned something about how he wants to show domestic violence because he did experience that from his own father, which they're okay now, thankfully. But I think he wanted to portray more of that. And he can't even see the scripts coming up. Like, whenever he records it, that's when he finally sees the scripts. And he kind of has, like, fights with the producers here and there. Like, I don't want to say it this way. I don't want it to be portrayed this way. But he doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, which I thought was really interesting that he is so involved with the show, because typically when they buy a book or buy the rights to the book, that author is no longer involved.
Right.
But he made that as part of his terms.
Him a narrator, exactly, is interesting. That's a good point.
Yeah. So his arguments, I think, are valid because he did negotiate that way and he wanted to do it that way. But the show's going to get made the way that they feel it's best going to get ratings.
Right.
So I feel like the way that he was describing the show, maybe it would have been better suited for Fox or something like HBO.
More so.
Somewhere else. Somewhere other than ABC, because
Or
I think if
even
it was
Netflix.
going to be on ABC, Netflix, like it would have been really great on Netflix because they could have done whatever they wanted.
Exactly.
But on ABC, it really is probably going to just, what we saw, that's what we're going to get from ABC,
Yeah. He gave it a B on the Hollywood Reporter. Not bad.
Not bad.
I mean, I could tell if I wrote a whole memoir, I'd want it to be portrayed exactly the way it is. At least it's getting portrayed.
Yeah.
At least his story is getting out there, which is a great thing. So.
Yeah. I like it. I'm fine with the adaptation. I also would have liked to see what that show would have been that was more on the nose with the book. Like, what would have that show looked like?
I know.
It would have been different.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a good point. But I think he likes the characters. He was talking about how, what does his own family think of the people that are playing them? And they all like it. They all love the mom, especially the own mother likes the way the mom's being portrayed as her. They don't like the accents, though.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I saw an interview with Randall and Constance, and they were saying like they took classes. They took Mandarin classes because they're both Chinese, or at least, one of them is Chinese. I don't have the exact ethnicity, and they had to take a certain class to figure out how to make their accent sound more Taiwanese. So they were a little put off with that, Eddie's family, but other than that, they like the way they're being portrayed.
Yeah, and I think Constance had said on her Twitter or in an interview that somebody was offended at the accent, the level of the accent, or how that character is portrayed. And she's like, listen, like, this is the toned down version of this woman.
Right.
Like, you don't know this woman.
Right.
Like, so sorry, not sorry. This is how it is. Yeah. And I think
they worked at it. They took lessons for it. This is how, they're actors. They're not just, doing anything they want. So respect to them for that.
Yeah, it's great.
But
cool. Do you want to get into predictions?
God, yeah.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ
Let's see.
TV.
What could happen in this show? There's so much this way that it could turn. You know what I mean? Let me think about it.
Oh, you're going to think about it. I don't know.
Because I always like, yeah, go.
I just need more of the mom. There's more,
more
that's Constance all the time.
Hopefully we get that more.
Yeah, and then more of the poking fun at the stereotype of the restaurant.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because there's so much flack out there always for like Asians being stereotyped, and this Asian character is blatantly stereotyping American culture.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really fun poke at the bigger scheme.
Well, the restaurant, I think it's going to do really, really well. But I think as soon as it hits its peak, Randall's character is going to have competition, maybe from another restaurant, maybe from an Asian restaurant itself. I feel like he's going to have a little bit of a competition there.
Oh my gosh, like an Asian buffet.
I feel like, yeah, exactly.
Like a Chinese buffet next door.
Yeah, oh my God. They'll probably be there more at their own restaurant. And I feel like the mom is going to, like I said before, she's probably going to maybe get along with the rollerbladers. That's what we're calling them, I think, right? The rollerbladers.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm talking about.
And they're probably, maybe they'll just get along. Who knows? The kids will be kids. I mean, for Eddie, he might have a little like girl appear for him. I think they tease that in the next episode, actually. His babysitter.
Yeah, it was a little older.
Yeah, he's gonna have those typical like puberty problems, like girls and friends. So we'll see how he handles it. That's the funny part.
Our budding hip hop fan. I just like with the one
what
little
if they
fantasy
bring
they
a
have.
hip hop star in as a guest star? That'd be perfect for
That'd be
Eddie.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, he would love it.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Good. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed our episode tonight covering Fresh Off the Boat at AfterBuzz TV. Make sure you tune in again next week. We're going to be covering the 2 new episodes that will be airing next Tuesday. So again, I've got my co-host here.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. Follow me on Twitter at Kanika Lal and Instagram at Kanika Lal1.
And I am Marilou Mandi. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Marilou Mandi, MARIELOUMANDL. Let us know what you think, and we will see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.